tutorial on how to use the intake forms and the timeline that goes along with the health coaching method that I teach. Now, this is based on a 3-month approach, a 3-month contract. You can adjust this to be longer or shorter, however you want to do it, but 3 months seems to really work for helping clients to reach their goals, help them to be accountable, not rush them. It's really just been the marker that has been the most successful for me in all the years that I've been coaching. So let's start at the very beginning where someone reaches out to you and they say they want to find out more information about you. They want to know if you can help them. And maybe it comes to you through an email. Maybe it comes to you through a website, or someone meets you somewhere and you tell them you're a health coach and they're like, I'd really like to know more. So you want to set up your free consultation or your free session, which you can do in about 15 to 20 minutes. And you want to do that by email so that you have it in writing and that you can follow up to confirm before you actually set aside that time to do that 15 to 20 minute consultation, because that's your time and it's valuable. And so I recommend that when you are setting those sessions up, that you make sure you have a way to monitor the time. So whether it be the computer has a clock on it, you have a watch sitting there, whatever it may be, just to kind of keep yourself dialed in. So this is the document that comes with the free consultation, just kind of helping you to get prepared. Gives a little guideline and a little bit of insight into the why I think it should be 15 to 20 minutes and not giving away an hour of your time. So there's also an example here of dialogue that I actually had with someone where you can see that I show support and lead him through the conversation, but I'm not giving a whole lot of information away. So that is document 1. And that is the first step. So after the inquiry, the first step is to do the free consultation of 15 to 20 minutes or, however long you feel is necessary. I just encourage you to think about your time and that your time is valuable while you're doing it. So the next document would be, you've done the free session, they want to think about it, or they have committed, but they're not sure which service they want. You would then send them a follow-up email. And in that email, you would send them your fees and services. Now, this is an older fees and service document of mine, but this is what I send to them. This does not live on my website. This is something that I email to people when they have expressed genuine interest in working with me. And as you can see, there is a section on the back, what to expect from working with me, which I think is really powerful. I did a video on why I think it's important to have that section there to help weed out the people who are not ready to commit or aren't serious. So you email this document, then you also email the intake form. Now the intake form I've done extensive training on. It's part of all the things I teach, but this is the form that is lengthy. It's about 20 pages if I'm not mistaken. And they would fill this document out, choose a fee and that they or a service that they want to use you for, and then they would pay their fee, whatever that fee is, however you have that set up, whether it's to purchase something from your website or you send them an invoice, however you charge someone, that's going to be it's going to be customized to whatever you do with your business. But they would then turn around and send this intake form back to you. Once this lands in your hands, you then turn around and send a either online scheduling program or link that you want to set your appointments with, or you send them 2 dates that are available for the session, which would take about an hour to an hour and 15, 20 minutes at the most. So once you have done the hour and 15 to 20 minute session, however long that takes, no less than an hour, it will be based on that intake form. Your first session is based on the intake form that we just opened up. Now, let's say you've done the first session. It's an hour and 15 minutes. All of my training in my courses and stuff is on how to do this, but we're moving through how to use the forms and the timeline. So we're skipping all that training of that part of it. Once you've done the session and you've gathered more information and you've let them know, I'm going to be sending you some more recommendations and resources that's going to get you started on reaching your goals, getting educated on how to take action and so on. You would then maybe type up a brief email. This is an example of an actual email that I sent to someone, letting her know that here are the resources, reminding her to talk to her doctor, not overwhelming her, but giving her some information that was based on my session with her. So that is an example of a recommendation that is sent post-consultation. Along with that post-consultation recommendation email, I also send the food template, the food guide template that everyone has access to if you've purchased a course or you're part of my mastery group. Now, this is completely customizable. So the thing is, you have to remember here is that this is a guide of general information. and can be given to everyone, to every single client. So you don't have to create a document on why gluten is bad. You don't have to tell them about how the process long ago is different, or whatever it is, because it's all in here. This is a template, and every resource in here is clickable and usable. So this is just one way to save yourself time by giving them a document that you would give to everybody to get started on understanding what whole food is. Now, they're not necessarily going to take the steps right away, but this is information that gets them started. The other thing is most people aren't sleeping well, and so I have created a sleep document rather than, reiterate, talk about what I'm doing with every single person differently as far as sleep is concerned. I give them all the same thing. So having a sleep template that just talks to them about sleep, and I'm not going to go through every one of these documents, as you can see, but these two documents right here are the templates that I give to everyone. Saves me so much time. The only custom piece is this short email that took me about 10 minutes to write. Now, we've got about a 3-week, 4-week time frame in between the first session, and see my cursor here on the intake form, and the second session, which is this document here. Now, I would say about, within the time frame when you're doing the first session, you want to set up the second session appointment so that you both know what to expect, when it's going to be. There are no excuses about why they can't meet. And within 48 hours, send them a second session intake form. So let's just recap quickly. We've had the inquiry. We've sent the fees and services in the intake form. We've received the intake form back. We've had the first session. We've sent the consultation, post-consultation recommendations and templates for them to get started, to get educated and start taking steps. We have established the next appointment. We have sent the intake form, and then we are now having the second session based on this form. Okay, so that is where you are with a second intake. When you get on the phone for your second month, second intake, second hour with them, this is the document that you will be going over. So make sure that they send this to you at least 24 hours before you talk to them. Gives you some time to see if there's anything that you need to research, look at, get prepared for. Okay, now we're in that second session. Okay, we're in the second session, the second part of that 3-week process. Remember, this is based on 3 months. Second month, second session, second call, second process of the health coaching 3-month series. They have filled this out. You've gone over it. Now you would send them another, email if it's necessary that has recommendations. Now this particular client did not have any need for that. She just needed further ongoing support. But this is the time where you would send that email. Now, when you send the email, remember, it's getting shorter every single time because the first one should be your lengthiest time. It's your highest mileage intake form, your highest mileage conversation. As you go through the coaching process, time should start to get a lot shorter for you as far as following up. Your consultation should still be an hour because you want to give them that value and that time that they deserve. But the recommendations, the support, things like that will be tapering off as time goes on. So make sure in the second session that you set that appointment for the third session. So 3 weeks, 4 weeks out, you set it for the third session. 48 hours before the appointment at minimum, you send this intake form, ask them to turn it around and send it back to you within 24 hours. Review it, look at it, make sure there's nothing you need to read about or get to more research on. And then your session, your third session, third month, third conversation is over this third intake form. Okay? So I'm hoping you're tracking, and I'm just going to use my cursor to go through. Free consultation and session happens. Intake form and fees and services get sent to them. They turn around, send that intake filled out. You have your session. You turn around, send those post-consultation recommendations and templates. You then 3.5 weeks later, or whatever your time frame is, you set up the second session, and it happens within that 3.5 weeks. Third session is the same way. Then after the third session, remember that was the third month, third call, third session. During that time, you set up your final exit. So the final session follow-up is much shorter, and this is just really us gathering information on anything that they feel is undone, want to get some ideas about what they felt was eye-opening, talk to them about doing a testimonial, see if they need to continue with you, which most people don't if they have done the work and stayed on the timeline. But that is your final session follow-up form that should go out 48 hours before your call that you set up on your third session. You go over the form, you get information on anything else they may need, and you send an email. After every session, if there's something that you need to send them, Even if it's one link, you just send them a quick email, thank them for their time. Here's the resource I promised you, and reaffirm your date for the next appointment. Now, the last thing you're going to do after the sessions are all over, the 3 months is up, you then send them a testimonial template. Now, this is just all, ready for them to fill out. So you can put your name right here. I approached Carmen Hunter because Carmen Hunter helped me buy, Hunter made me feel, or whatever it is. Put your name in there. It's a great guide for anybody who feels uncomfortable doing testimonials or doesn't know what to say. Video testimonials are better than written testimonials, but you're going to need that written testimonial for printed materials as well. So that is the timeline process. One more time. You've been approached with an inquiry if someone's interested. You set up that free consultation and session by email or Calendly or whatever your online scheduling, Acuity or whatever program is. You have the call. You then turn around and send the intake form and the fees and services to them. They pay you. They turn around and send that intake form back to you. You review it. You then have your first session with them over that intake form. You follow up with the post-consultation recommendations and templates. You then 3.5 weeks later have the other appointment, which was set during the first session. And you go over the intake form for the second session. You set your appointment for the third session, and you send follow-ups of any kind after that. You then have your third session conversation in the third month and send any recommendations after that, but you set up that final exit appointment here. The testimonial template goes out after the relationship is done. You send it by email and ask them to turn around and send it back to you. So I wanted to walk through those steps very carefully so that everyone understands that the timeline of this is a 3-month process. You are welcome to customize it to be longer or shorter, but it works perfectly with a 3-month program following the education, preparation, and action process that seems to work the best with my clients. Educating them in the first month, helping them get prepared for the second month, and then helping them and supporting them to take action in the third month. So when that time frame is up, we are then in the final session. We know that they feel empowered and ready to move forward on their own. We don't have to do any more hand-holding. We let them know if they need us in the future to just kind of give them a kickstart again or whatever. We can give a discount at that time, tell them how much we appreciate their business and referrals, and that is the end of the relationship.